Let's speak with Mr. Deniji. Well, you've said, yeah, this is a policy somersault, or Mr. Akpa believes that it isn't. But your business specifically now, the government said this was meant to ensure self-sufficiency in food production. You produce food, as it were. You're a farmer in that regard, you export. And the question will be, during that border closure, was there any benefit whatsoever to your business?
Well, I'm even more surprised that Mr. Appa is saying that there was the closure of the border has really made the poultry farm becoming better. That is not true. What's the price of the DO chick today? What's the price of the food to give to these birds? What I think the government and everybody that is a participant in this Nigerian economy should be looking at is one. Today, we have signed an agreement with African Intercontinental Free Trade Agreement. This is going to, whether we like it or not, we are going to open our borders. What we should be looking at is how do we export more of these things to other West African or African countries. We should increase our production. We should increase our capacity so that we're not going to be left behind in the free trade agreement we have signed. Today, if we think we want to be protecting, we want to protect our industry by closing the borders, at the end of the day, and we need to implement this agreement, we are going to be in trouble. It has not added any value, sincerely. Everything has gone up. The price of chicken, are we able to produce enough chicken for this country, even when the border are closed? Not at all. These people still smuggle this frozen chicken through different means. Don't you see contraband rice or still in the market? This chicken, we're only being very economical with the truth. These things are still coming to this country. What we need to do is, as a country, we need a policy, immediate, middle-term, long-term policies that will bring a lot of entrepreneurs from this country to produce more with our population. We can dominate all the West African countries, even if it's only to send all our goods to them, our food, because we have comparative advantage, competitive advantage over every other West African countries because of our population.
You know, Mr. Deniji, I want to explore your experience really during this border closure. I think it will be important to hear firsthand from you the kind of experience you had during this border closure. As an exporter, did you have to export through the land border or through the ports?
Well, naturally, I don't even go through the land, but it has caused a lot of trouble today. I think in the news report you just read this morning, I had the issue of the maritime people want to go on strike. The port is a mess. It's even more terrible now. If anybody needs to go to Apapa, Chinese television, you understand it. We are in a big mess. We're only trying to cover and don't want to offend people. The trouble is getting worse. The port is bad. The port is terrible. The policies are very detrimental to the growth of businesses in this country. When you go to the port today, you cannot even pass. They said they are opening road and closing it. It has given room for corruption. So many people are taking money on that road. What we normally use 60,000 naira to take a container of cocoa from Oshodi to Apapa now costs 500,000 naira. If you go on batch, the entire water system is blocked. So has not added any value. It has rather dragged us back for another 10 years.